Next, we will continue studying Genesis chapter 35. It was because Jacob's sons had killed the people of Shechem and taken their livestock and possessions. So Jacob became very afraid of attacks by the people around Shechem and the local inhabitants. Because his household was small in number, he was greatly afraid. At that moment, spoke to Jacob, saying, "Arise, go up to Bethel and dwell there. Make an altar there for God, who appeared to you when you fled from your brother Esau. He is the one who appeared to you when you fled from your brother Esau." And Jacob was like the people in his household. "Put away the foreign gods among you. Purify yourselves and change your garments. Let us arise and go up to Bethel, so I may build an altar there to God, who answer me in the day of my distress, and has been with me wherever I have gone." Thus Jacob, in this time of trouble, did God abandon him? No, he did not abandon him. At this time, the people of Shechem had all been killed. At this time, all the people of Shechem were killed, and kill him or his family. He was deeply afraid. But right then, God helped Jacob and led him to a place called Bethel. This Bethel was the same place Jacob had come to 20 years earlier. The Bethel mentioned here is the same place where Jacob had been 20 years earlier when he left his brother Esau. When he fled from his brother Esau, where God appeared to him. Now Jacob returned to that very place where 20 years before he had dreamed the dream of the ladder, and God had revealed himself to him. There he built an altar to the great God. And because of God's favor toward Jacob, all the surrounding townspeople, all were extremely fearful and trembling. They were afraid of Jacob and did not pursue his sons. Although Jacob's sons killed the people of Shechem, because God was with Jacob, God struck fear and trembling into the people of the surrounding towns, so that they were afraid of Jacob. So they dared not pursue Jacob's sons. Thus Jacob came to Luz in the land of Canaan, same place he had come to 20 years earlier, his brother Esau, and used a stone as a pillow. The place where God appeared to him in the dream of the ladder to heaven. That place was formerly called Luz, but Jacob renamed it Bethel, which means house of God. So Jacob went to Bethel and arrived at that place. For Jacob, Bethel was truly significant. It was where God first appeared to him. At Bethel, Jacob likely remembered what happened 20 years earlier, when Jacob fled from his brother Esau, who was pursuing him to kill him, and came to Bethel. There God showed him grace, through which Jacob received God's blessing in his dream of the heavenly ladder. 20 years later, he was again fleeing, this time from Shechem. This time it is a pursuit and killing while fleeing to Shechem city from the surrounding peoples, because his sons had killed the men of Shechem. Once more, God helped Jacob and brought him back to Bethel after 20 years. For Jacob, Bethel was truly a testimony of God's mercy. 20 years earlier, he came to Bethel fleeing from his brother. There God appeared to him. He declared that he would give the land of Canaan to Jacob and make Jacob's descendants numerous. Now, 20 years later, returning to Bethel, it is also God who saved Jacob and enabled him to escape from those who were pursuing him. So he came to Bethel. After arriving at Bethel, God blessed Jacob again. Brothers and sisters, remember 20 years ago, Jacob came to Luz, which is Bethel. At that time, he used a stone as a pillow, and God blessed Jacob in the dream of the ladder to heaven. The second time, 20 years later, he came to Bethel once again. When building an altar to God, God blessed Jacob again. At this time, God clearly said to Jacob, "Your name shall no longer be Jacob, but Israel." And he further blessed Jacob, saying, "May your descendants be numerous, as countless as the sand on the seashore." And God explicitly declared that Jacob would become a great nation. and that the whole land of Canaan would be given to Jacob. This clearly shows God's faithful love for Jacob, which has never changed from beginning to end. Glory be to the Father and the Lord. Amen.